Good evening, everyone. This is Amos-Miracle Uka, and I welcome you to this event. Sorry, we actually said this is going to be a live section, right? But I just discovered that my channel is not yet ready to actually host live videos or live sections. So I'll plead with you to actually subscribe to this channel so that by the next time we are going to have this event, Unfiltered Truths, we're actually going to have a live section so we can make it more interactive. All right, so pardon my recording this. All right, I think we are here for value, we are here to be blessed. All right, so life or no life, we are still alive, right? So nobody's actually dead. Okay, so I just took time from the office to actually do this. All right, so thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate this. It really means a lot to me. Like, it really means a lot. Welcome to my channel. Please do subscribe and do share this video if you find it valuable, right? If you find it valuable, do make sure to share and invite your loved ones too, so they could be part of this progress. All right, so we're talking about thriving and maximizing the moment, right? So I'm going to make some analogies, and whatever you're going to hear that I'm going to say is not a holy grail, right? So what that means is that you shouldn't, everything I said or that I'm going to say, it's not, you should not just hold it as, which word am I going to use now? You shouldn't challenge it. Yes, that's the right word. Just challenge it. All right, just challenge it. Don't just accept everything for what it is, or you get. So just try to, if there's any thought that doesn't sit well with you, challenge it. All right, we can actually have a conversation over it. Probably I will learn. You get. So no man is an island. Just keep an open mind. Okay, so when we're talking about thriving and maximizing the moment, that's progressing from where you are now, all right, with what you have. All right, so I'm going to say something. If the only thing that you have is the ability to actually start, then you have everything you need to succeed. I'll take that again. If the only thing you have now is just the ability to start, you actually have everything it takes to succeed. It's as simple as that. All right, so long as we progress, I'm going to be giving you instances to actually buttress on what I just said. Now, people often say that time is the most expensive commodity is time, right? Now, I want to, question and answer period time now. Okay, so if time is actually the most valuable asset, right? What time are we talking about? Is it the one we are living currently, the time at the moment, or is it the time that is ahead of us? Let's say ahead of us could be next seconds, next minutes, or even next, let's say tomorrow, right? So which of the time are we talking about? So let's say, let's liken time to money, right? Which one is more valuable? Is it the money you have at hand already, or the money in your head that you wish to get tomorrow, right? So which one is more valuable to you? Let me liken it to a bird. Let's say time is like a bird, right? And you have one already, and you have the next seconds, all right? You have the next seconds on a tree. Which is more valuable? Which one is in your possession? Let me take it back to the money issue. So let's say folks are to estimate your net worth. What are they going to estimate? Is it the wealth you already have now, or the wealth that you already have in your head that you're going to make tomorrow, right? So obviously the one they're going to estimate is what you already have now, the assets you already have now, right? So which means if you're talking about the time is, I want to consider it, for the sake of this section, I will consider it an illusion, right? So the time I'm going to be talking about is the moment we only have now, like we only have now, right? This moment that we are breathing. The next seconds, we could actually plan a lot of things. Definitely, it's good to plan things, right? But planning doesn't make you, doesn't automatically give you that super superhero power or give you that spiritual, supernatural power to, be alive to actually execute those plans, right? So we are going to be talking about so many other things, and I would really want you to actually open your minds. I love us to learn, right? I love us to learn. Nobody's actually the custodian of this knowledge. Whatever you feel doesn't, tally well with you, I'm open to conversations. You get. So we do not have time. The only time we have is now, expressed as the moment, this very moment, this very moment. So if the only time we have now is now, how do we make the best out of it? How do we progress from where we are now to where we want to be? All right. It's one thing to know that, okay, we are living in the moment and actually want to do something, but I don't know what to do. I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, I don't have the technical know-how, I don't have the skills. Those are real issues, right? Real issues. We can't deny that fact. But then there are ways you can actually maximize this moment, this time. If they say this is the most precious gift that you have, imagine having a billionaire in your house. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to use my life to safeguard it, right? Because why? It is precious to me, very, very precious to me. So that is the way it is. It should be for you to, right? That's the way you should treat this moment. If there is anything you have to do to make your life count, is this moment. If you exceed this moment, you don't have any guarantee for anything again, right? You don't have anything guaranteed. So why am I saying we have this moment? Yesterday, I was a bit sick. I was falling sick. I went to visit one of my friends that lost the mom. So I said, okay, if I come back, I'll go and meet one doctor. He runs a chemistry shop in front of my house. I said, okay, if I come back, I'll just go and meet the man, right? So getting to my house yesterday night, when I went there to get drugs, I discovered that the man just lost a wife, the pregnant wife. I was like, I don't understand. Like, the person we just met before I left or something, like, why, how? You get. Now, in that woman's wildest dream, if somebody told her that the next minute or the next seconds that she's not going to be there to sell drugs to people, I don't think she would believe that, right? We don't actually own these stuffs. So that's why this moment is very, 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 very crucial and very, very important for us to, harness and make very good use of. Okay, so I'm going to be giving us hints or tips on how we are going to maximize this time, these moments that we actually have. All right. So the first thing first is to identify what you want as a person. Okay. So they call it purpose discovery. There's a lot of names to call it, but the most important thing is to know what you want. As a human, you must know what you want. Like, we all know about these things. I want to eat shawarma. I want to eat pizza. I want to eat this. I want to eat that. Right? How do you know you want those things? So, but when it comes to things that really matter, we want to form ignorance, right? Sometimes it's not really forming ignorance, we are just ignorant, actually, right? So, but first thing is to identify why you are here. You can call it purpose. Okay, let me not use the ambiguous words now. Discover what you want. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want to be known for? What do I want to contribute to my society? What can I do to add? What can I do to add up to what is already in existence, right? You have to ask these meaningful questions, very, very important questions. You need to ask such questions, okay? So the first step of maximizing this period, this moment, this very moment that we are in now is, first of all, identify why you are here. It's very, very keen, very, very, very important. You can't make do without it, okay? So after identifying them, the next thing you want to identify is the skills, the things that you'll be needing, right, to actually help you to achieve all of this that you have highlighted, right? So let me say I want to be an editor. The part of the steps could be I have to start learning how to edit. I can't be an editor without learning how to edit. What am I going to get? So the first, identify what you want. Second thing is identify the process. The process could include learning the skills, learning becoming well versed, the techniques involved, and actually reading up or learning from people that have gone ahead of you, right? So it is very important that you identify, and you also identify the skills, identify the things that are very necessary Now, I'm not talking about tomorrow. Is this what I'm saying is not what you are going to do tomorrow. What you're going to do tomorrow is today. That's if you are going to be alive by that tomorrow, right? So, but what you're going to do now is very, very, very much more important, okay? So when you have identified this, the next thing you want to ask yourself is, how do I progress from here now? How do I progress? How do I make this progress with what I have? Now, remember what I said earlier, you don't need skills necessarily. You don't need money necessarily. If the only thing you have is just that zeal, it's just that urge, it's just that passion, it's just that enthusiasm, it's just that the ability to start, you are halfway. Let me just put it that way. You're actually halfway to actualizing the success that you desire. All right, you're actually halfway to it. You get. So for you to start, starting from where you are with what you have, you have to look at yourself. What do I have? Okay, let me say I don't have any skills, right? I don't have the skills, and I've identified what I want. I'll share a story. I'll share my own story with you, right? Back then, when I wanted to learn how to play the musical instrument, I really loved it, right? I didn't have a piano, I didn't have money to get one for myself either. So I think that was the festive period. That was Christmas period, right? So my family was to travel. I told them, I'm not going, right? I'm not going to travel. I'm going to stay back. Why? Because I want to learn. I didn't have a teacher. I couldn't afford one at the time. I couldn't afford the instruments, right? I couldn't afford them. So I relied on going to listen to other people play, right? So wherever I hear sounds, I go, I listen. I try to record. I didn't have phone actually. So I'll just try to record as much as I can in my memory. If it gets full, I'll continue later. So when I record those sounds, right? When I get the opportunity in my church to play, not play per se, like during rehearsals, okay, I want to practice. I remember those sounds, I would try to practice them, all right? I didn't have any teacher. I consistently did that. I did vigils upon vigils. Sometimes I even injured myself while trying to escape just to go and play, right? So a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, I started playing the piano. Right, so but not fully for a church service. The 3rd month I was already playing for my service, for church service. Although I had my little notes, whenever I want to play, I put the little notes, write the names of songs, and write the sofa notations and the progression. Right, so I discovered at the 4th month I stopped using that sheet to play. I just discovered that I stopped using it to play, which means I already have the progressions in my head. Right, before you know it, I could play the keyboard very well for services. Before you know it, I could play the lead guitar comfortably well, the bass guitar comfortably well. I could go for shows and play drums comfortably well. And I'm playing for different churches, different persons, right? Organizations. And I was earning from them. Remember what I said? Barcode. I didn't have money. I didn't have the equipment. I only had that ability. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Some of my friends I left then that we were working with, they came back and they were like, "Guy, this progress and stuff like that." I was actually impressed, and I actually brought so many of them to come to my concerts and listen to what I had to offer at the time, right? So it is very, very important that I don't have this. I can start from there. It's an illusion. I tell people, if you know where I'm coming from. Sometimes when people look at me, I'm like, "God, you're so talented. You are this, you're that, you have." I just look at them and be like, "Guy, if you know the process we have walked through, right? They see me, you have a lot of skills, you have a lot of all those things. I wasn't born with them. I did. In as much as I understand the fact that God gave some this, God gave some this, God gave some this, God gave. That doesn't remove the fact that these people actually worked their ass out to actually get where they are, right? So please, you are supposed to start, how do I put this now? You are just at the right place you need to be to start. You are exactly at the right place you are now, and that is the right place you need to start from. You don't start, I value my life so much. Why? Because I wasn't born in quotes, with a silver spoon. Sounds weird, but I actually love that fact. I know life. I'm doing life. And sooner than later, I will be out of doing life to actually, enjoying the good sides of life. All right. So it is very keen, very, 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 very important for us to learn these facts. Very, very, very important. Start from where you are. First thing, what do I want as a person? What do I want as a person? This is what I want. I'm not talking about purpose discovery now, because most times people find this find it difficult. Although subsequent episodes will take care of that. All right. But for this, it might not really be all about purpose. It could just be starting from what you want, from what you love doing. All right. Just from those little things. Now, the next thing you need to consider, just like I said, you don't actually need the skills. So some persons can actually ask, but I don't have the skills. Right? I don't have this, I don't have that. If you don't have it, go and learn. Right? That's it. You can't continue to give yourself that excuse. I don't know how to. I don't know how to. When I was to go and study at University of Nigeria, I loved filmmaking. Like, I love filmmaking a lot. Right? I wanted to be a theater and film director. I checked my background. This thing cannot fit in. So when I went to school, they were just doing theater stuff. Nobody was really doing films, right? I had to go the extra mile. I had to learn how these things works. I had to do the extra work. I had to put in the extra work to know how these things work, right? And actually started learning them. I learned script writing. I learned video editing. I learned directing. I learned acting. I don't know if you get it. Now, I wasn't planning to be an editor, film editor. I was planning to be a director. But for me to be an effective director, I had to have thorough knowledge. Okay, let me not say thorough, at least an appreciable number of, amount of the knowledge needed for me to actually advance very, very well, in my directing career. All right. So I have to identify those skills and start learning them. People are born with gifted hands, but for those gifted hands to bring them to kings, they have to harness it. Study to show yourself approved. You have to. If you don't, people don't pay for gifts. They pay for refined gifts. Nobody pays you for just having gifts. If your gift is not refined, if your gift is not being valuable to people, of course it will never attract value, right? So the issue of skills shouldn't be a problem. It's something that, and when I mean skills, it's not just going to learn how to do tailoring and learn how to do. You have to know what you want and then learn the skills that are, very, very important in helping you to actualize what you actually want. It's not about, I know when we are online, everybody learns skills. Learn is very beautiful, but don't waste your time learning things that are not relevant to whatever you're going to do, all right? So, okay, I already said that before. If the only thing you have is the ability to start, then you have all it takes to succeed. Maximizing actualizing your goals with the little things. Okay, that's another one. You have to learn how to maximize and actualize your goals with the little things. I want to be, that's my dream, right? I don't want to say the biggest, I don't want to say the best, because all those things don't have actual parameters for measuring them. But I want, when directing is mentioned in the whole of Africa, a name pops up first. Right? I'm not talking about just Africa now. I'm talking about the world. I've not won any AMA yet, but I'm aiming for the Oscars. Follow it. All right? I don't have the gadgets. At some point, I felt bad when I was in school. I teach people. I bring them together, I teach them how to do this, how to do that. The following day, they already bought, they'll go buy the equipment that I have been struggling for so many years to buy, right? Sometimes it pissed me off, or sometimes I had to tell myself, there's time for everything, right? I didn't have the money to get all of those things. And even up till now that I'm talking to you, I'm yet to get most of them, right? But this is the most important thing to do. I want to be a filmmaker. I don't have the equipment. I don't have money to pay writers. I don't have money to pay editors. What should I do? Remember to apply this into your personal life. I'm telling you my own story so that you can, apply it to your own personal life. So what do? I have a phone, and there's something called mobile filmmaking. I can start from there. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I'm not going to stop there. So now the vision is clear and you're pursuing it. You can't stop there, right? So I had to start learning videography, phone video editing, script writing and all of that. I learned all of that. I didn't pay actually, but you have your sources online, you are on YouTube for God's sake, and you are online, you could learn a lot from it. You get, so I learned, I built, I kept on building, I kept on building, I kept on building, I kept on building. Today I can categorically tell you that 90% of the works I've done is with my smartphone. Nobody cares about the process. People cares about the results, the narrative, and probably for those in the academy, in the film academy, they will now go over to look at the technicalities, the equipment, and the picture qualities and all of that. But the vast majority of people don't actually care about that. This film makes sense, it makes sense. It's sweet, yes, it's sweet. You get, people don't really have time for all of those, right? And that was how I started, just with my phone, right? I started with what I have. It's exactly with what I have. When I didn't have that phone to start doing that, I was busy writing scripts. I tell myself, the next 20 years I cannot run out of scripts because I've written a lot of scripts there. I used to tell myself then, if I don't have the money to publish, that shouldn't stop me from writing. If it has been given to me to write, I owe God, or I owe the source of inspiration, that duty to actually write. Get it right. If I don't have the money to publish, I won't stop writing. Why? Because the source have not run dry. The source is still coming. So long it is coming, I owe myself and the source to keep writing until the appointed time comes. When it comes, nobody can deny that. All right? Nobody can deny that. So you have to give way, remove every excuses. If I tell you my own personal story and where I am today, it sounds funny because I know where I'm coming from. All right? I know most times motivational speakers want to tell you they started with one grain of rice and then they now built it into an empire. I might not tell you that rubbish, but I can tell you categorically that I have never had it easy, right? But that will not take my smiles. You get, so you just have to be very conscious about your life, right? And try as much as possible, as much as you can, to use the little things you have. The little things you have could just be an idea. Okay, let me just share this story. When I came to Niger State to serve MENA precisely, I wanted to do theater shows, and every feedback I got was very negative. Don't do it, these people are this, these people are that, these people are this, they will not. And the budget was over 250,000 at a time, right? I didn't have one kobo, all right? I didn't have one kobo. So at the time, I didn't have one kobo to actually foot that, all right? I didn't have that. So, but I had an idea. And some persons have actually told me, you don't need money to start, you don't need this to start, you just have an idea. So when that idea came, I discussed it with people, and before you know it, that's something that people said people will not buy into. People started buying into it. If I spent money in that production, I don't think I spent over 5,000. My personal money, no, I don't think so. And I had lots of casts. That was the biggest cast I've ever had in my productions. Over 50 persons working as crew members, right? Just an idea. So had it been I caved in and I'd be like, well, this thing I cannot do it because I don't have the resources. That would have ended like that. All right. So it is very, very important that you just get the idea, that special God's given idea. If you have it, that is enough for you to start. That little thing you have in your hands, start with it. All right. Progress can never come if you don't start making use of the little things. Even when God assigns talents to people, If they give you what they the way they put it is to those who have, right, more will be given to them, and those who do not. So go into the word multiply. Multiply is not really giving birth to multiple children and all of that. Be productive. Be productive. Reproduce. Be productive. Production, the more you're producing, the more you progress, the more you expand. All right. You will start with the little things. You don't just jump in. I'm dreaming of so this and all of that. Did I start shooting with red? Did I start, aiming or going for one big media house to apply for jobs? That's rubbish. Everybody's story is different. You can actually do that. But don't wait for that to actually happen. Start right where you are. Start there. Start there. One of my biggest dreams to be a great leader in Africa, right? And I've not had the opportunity to actually on a big scale, but I do my stuff gradually, gradually, gradually. I'm building my community, right? Next 2 3 years, we'll come back to this video, and by then I must have applied more of these principles, and you will see where we are going to be. All right. So I want you not to remain stagnant. I want you to also progress. So by the time we actually make some video like this or go live, we can actually share ideas, and we can actually share the testimonies of what we've been able to achieve just by virtue of this section that we just had now. All right. So it's important to mention that it's not going to be convenient for you. You're going to inconvenience yourself. That one is just certain. But there's an inconvenience that is worse than inconvenience. That inconvenience is called, I don't have a word for it, but I'll just explain it. Maybe you can just find a word for it. We are smart, or let me say we are smart, but our children will be smarter. We are inquisitive, but our children will be more inquisitive. What will happen when your child comes up and asks you that you said this person was your classmate and he's there, why are you here? Or guy, you know if you answer anything, then we are afraid of our parents. These children are not sure that they fear anybody you get. So in order for you not to feel embarrassed or start beating up your children, use your head now. It is better to bear the yoke when you still have life in you. In your youth, it is better for you to bear your yoke. All right, you can start now. Start that little, grow it. If I show you my first graphic designs videos, those things are beautiful rubbish. Beautiful rubbish. But if I didn't do those beautiful rubbish, I will not be doing this amazing pieces that I'm doing now. I won't. So if you want to be there tomorrow, be here now. If you want to be there tomorrow, be here now. It is very, very important. All right? Very, very, very important. Okay? So in conclusion, we are still going to be progressing from this episode. Next Friday, we are still going to have next upper every Friday. We are going to be convening for Unfiltered Truths, and I'm still going to be bringing some guests to talk to us as we progress. So make this channel your favorite channel. Subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. The why we are not going live now is because we have not reached the benchmark of subscribers for us to go live. So you can actually help us to fasten that, by actually subscribing, sharing, and inviting your friends to do the same, and also be blessed and get values from the amazing videos and pieces of entertainment I'm going to be dropping here from time to time. All right. So thank you so much for joining me in this episode. I have to go now. Just like I said, I just took a time from work to do this, and hopefully by the next time we'll have our time and maintain the 7:30 and have a live section. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you, and I'm rooting for your progress, and I'm looking forward to hearing you starting and making it big just by starting with the little things that you actually have, and right there where you are. You can feel free to reach out to me. My contact details will be at the comment section, right at the description. Let's connect, let's share ideas, and thank you so much. I remain Amos-Miracle Uka.